Namaste Sannyasa family and everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you in this daily live meditation session with me, Dhyanse. We're meditating on 112 meditation techniques of Vigyan, Bhairav, Tantra. On this spiritual journey, in the very beginning, there are no questions. In the beginning, when there is complete sleep, when there is no awareness of what is going on in life, what is this life, who am I? When there is absolute sleep, no awareness at all, in that very beginning, there are no questions. And in the very end of this journey, when there is enlightenment, in the very end of this journey, also there are no questions anymore. But in between this beginning and end, there are 1,001 questions. This journey that the meditator takes, so many questions arise about oneself, about life, about world, about everything that the meditator is experiencing. And these questions, it is not important that these questions are answered. What is important is that these questions arise. Because no answer really ever satisfies any question. The question, if answered, has a response. But this duality always remains of the question and the answer. The answer may simply be a consolation or an encouragement for the questioner to raise more questions, to go deeper, to be more authentic, to go in inner depths and find the real question. That may be the only purpose of an answer, but no answer ever satisfies the question. So along this journey, what happens is the question is broken. The question is destroyed. The questioner comes out of the question. In this spiritual journey, from the beginning, when there was no question and the first question arises, who am I? What is this life? What is all this? From that first question to the very end, this journey is to come out of this question, to come out of these 1,001 questions, to completely destroy the question. Not necessarily just answer the question, but these 1,001 questions arise and one has to address them. When you ask these questions, when you are on the spiritual journey, make sure that these questions come out of your depths, come out of your truth, come out of your authenticity, because those are the questions that will take you further in this journey. Whether they are answered or not answered, simply questioning those questions which are authentic to you, they take you forward. Living in those questions, trying to find an answer to those questions, trying to break free from those questions is the process of this transformation of this spiritual journey. Let me share another question from one of our meditators in the community, which comes out of the authenticity of the meditator, which comes out of the depths of the meditator. The meditator asks, as a seer, I avoid letting the illusion become my reality. And I see life as a movie, not to get involved. But what about sad and cruel situations which touch me from the bottom of my soul? Do I stay untouched, or am I then in my illusion? Can deep sadness also be a sign of the real me? Can deep sadness also be a sign of real me? First of all, this question comes from the depths, from the authenticity of the meditator, from being contemplative, from being reflective. And that in itself is growth. That in itself is a process of transformation. Secondly, we have to understand that this sadness is a far more authentic emotion than happiness. This happiness that we all are in this pursuit of, this is somewhat momentary. This is somewhat in the excitement, in somehow an excited state. But sadness is far more authentic, much more authentic than the happiness which just lasts for a few seconds, which just lasts for a few moments. But the sadness which lasts, which feels so much closer to the soul, which feels so much more authentic, this sadness is the doorway. Not just happiness, not just the pursuit of happiness, but this sadness. But we constantly try to do everything to avoid it, to try to distract ourselves from sadness. When sadness arises, we distract ourselves with some entertainment, with some talk, with something here and there. We never pay attention to sadness. Such an authentic emotion, still a true emotion that is left in us. Happiness, we have also corrupted the idea of happiness. Even Coca-Cola claims to give you happiness. So happiness may not remain even an authentic emotion for you, but sadness is still so much closer to your soul, so much closer to yourself. Don't avoid it. Don't try to create it. Don't try to have it in your life. If your life does not have sadness, great. You are blessed. You're blissful. If the life gives you situations of sadness, also a blessing. Why? This is such an authentic emotion which gives you a chance, a doorway to become aware of yourself. So see, as you say, can deep sadness also be a sign of real me? First of all, see that this sadness is an authentic emotion. Be aware of it, be authentic to it, be honest to it, feel it, see it where it comes from. And as you settle, as you penetrate into this emotion, this will take you into stillness. This will also take you into silence. Silence that is not sadness anymore. Silence that is very, very profound, very deep silence arising out of your authentic emotion. Then the second thing about your question is that see that you're looking for yourself in all this. The real question that you're asking is, who am I? Am I this sadness? Am I this happiness? Am I this illusion? Am I this reality? The real question that you're asking out of all these questions is, who am I? So while you're asking these questions, while you're contemplating on these questions, always remember the undercurrent. Always remember that unknown which is not answered yet. Who am I? Because that is the real authentic question. Third thing, as you say, as a seer, I avoid letting the illusion become my reality. And I see life as a movie, not to get involved. But what about sadness and cruel situations which touch me from the bottom of my soul? Do I stay untouched? This simply reflects that you're calling everything as an illusion, but still waiting for some reality to arise. In this illusion, what you're calling, what you're trying to practice, you're waiting something out of this illusion to emerge, which you can grasp on and say, this is reality. You may have now rejected the physical, the material, whatever is in front of you as the illusion, but suddenly when something, cruelty or sadness, something that arises which touches you deeper, immediately you lose the patience to see everything as an illusion, and you want to claim something as reality. Be patient. Don't turn anything of this illusion into reality. None of it is reality. You remain centered in yourself. The moment something interesting comes up from this illusion, don't immediately say, that's it, I have now the reality, and try to impose on this illusion your version of reality. So be patient, be non-differentiating, do not discriminate between this emotion, this situation and that situation. Remain non-judgmental in this illusion and experience this as an illusion without trying to impose any reality on top of that. And the fourth thing, as a seer, I avoid letting the illusion become my reality. There is one more important aspect to that, which is when you see this life as an illusion, somehow you may feel that it is not worth living because it is an illusion. Live this illusion. Live this illusion of life. Live this illusion of the world. The experiences of the world, no matter they are all illusions, but live those illusions. In living those illusions, disidentified, not detached, not trying to not live it anymore because it is an illusion, so why should I live it anymore? Rather, live this illusion to the fullest, because in living this illusion to the fullest, you remain always at a distance. You remain always disidentified, not detached, but at a distance. Living as an awareness, living as consciousness, living this illusion of life, the Leela, the Maya of this world. That is the way of the meditator. That is the way of the sannyasin. That is the way of an enlightened being. To live this world as an illusion, living it to the fullest, not being attached to it, always at a distance. To be of the world, to be in the world, but not of it. To remain like a lotus above the mud. You remain grounded into the mud, but you remain slightly above like a lotus flower. The second question that you have also arises from this first question, which is, why is it important to feel your body again and again? If we should not attach with our body, I know we need the body to realize our life, but for example, take body scan as meditation. Isn't it rather contradicting? No, there is no contradiction here. Live this illusion of life. Live this body, live this mind remaining disidentified. And you're giving this example, but for the example, take body scan as a meditation. Few days back, I spoke about currywurst. Body scan is like the currywurst. It is an adaptation of what is meditation. It is a Western interpretation, an oversimplification of what meditation is. Becoming aware of your body, what we call as body scan, one of the most popular, simple meditations in the Western part of the world. This is simply becoming aware of the body. This has nothing to do with becoming attached to the body, becoming identified with the body. It is done because you're living so far away in the mind that you're completely mindless about where you are. So to bring your awareness back to your body, to make you realize that you are in this body, in every part of this body, that you are in the body, that you're not the body. This realization is the body scan meditation. It is somewhat of an adaptation of what is really meditation. You can use it as the beginning. You can use it as a preparation to move into meditation, to become mindful, to have that beginning for yourself. But it is in authenticity, it is not really a meditation, just like currywurst has nothing to do with curries of India, the authenticity of India. Let us move into the technique for today. Understand it very briefly before we practice this together in the next minutes. Bhairava says, by chanting the sound of A in the absence of Bindu and Visarga, a great torrent of knowledge of the divine arises at once. Let me repeat. By chanting the sound of A in the absence of Bindu and Visarga, a great torrent of knowledge of the divine arises at once. By chanting the sound of A, there is an esoteric explanation to that. It may take a couple of minutes, so I request your patience to understand this. It is very, very important for the meditation and for the spiritual journey before we sit in silence, and we will extend the session for 5 to 10 minutes more to sit in that silence. So the technique is by chanting the sound of A in the absence of Bindu and Visarga. This means the first part of Om. Om has 3 parts, A, U, Ma. When you utter the sound, the chant of A, without the Bindu and the Visarga, without the U and the Ma, only simply the chant of A, many things happen. It is not just uttering the sound of A, it has a spiritual process that happens as you chant the sound of A. In your body, you have several energy centers, you have several chakras responsible for different experiences of life. When you utter the sound A, there is an energy center, a chakra called Lalana. That chakra sits above your soft palate, behind your mouth, above your soft palate, in between the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra, and your Agya chakra, the third eye center. This Lalana chakra is not mentioned in the 7 chakra system, in the most popular systems of explaining the chakras, of explaining the energies, but it plays a significant role in the meditator's journey as spiritual experiences beyond the normal start to happen. As you move into silence, as spiritual experiences become alive to you, there is a nectar called Amrita, which is the nectar of bliss. In many traditions, it is referred as Soma. This Soma, this Somaras, this Amrita, it flows from Bindu, from the top of your head down to these energy centers. It only is activated with intense practice of meditation, with going deeper into meditation, and over several years of an intense practice, this energy center, the Bindu, starts producing Amrita, and that Amrita gives that blissfulness to the yogi, to the meditator, to the tantric. And this has been kept secret throughout different practices because it could be abused. If the meditator is not ready, it would just remain in this now addiction of this Amrita, of the Soma, just like once you have those psychedelic experiences where your consciousness breaks free and suddenly you see different realms of reality, or you see a sudden opening of your heart and you feel blissful with all these psychedelics and even synthetic psychedelics. What is really happening is this Bindu starts producing Amrita, this Soma, and it can be naturally, organically produced as well, and it is absorbed in this Lalana chakra. So when you utter this chant of A, This activates your Lalana chakra. It prepares the Lalana chakra to absorb this Amrita, to absorb this blissful nectar that falls from Bindu and creates a blissfulness that is 1,000-fold more, far bigger than any happiness that you would ever look for, than any blissfulness that you can ever imagine. So that is one purpose of activating that Lalana chakra by uttering this chant of Om. The second aspect of that is that it becomes cathartic. When you open your mouth wide open and chant the sound of Ah, then all your energy centers which are below your heart, which have been repressed, all emotions, impressions that have been repressed in your Manipura, in your Swadhisthana, in your root chakra, all these chakras, the Mooladharas, the repressions that you have in your lower part of the body, in the lower chakras of your body, they all are released when you utter this sound of Om, the sound of Ah in the sound of Om. So when you emphasize Ah, when you chant Ah, two things happen. One is the Lalana chakra gets activated if you are there, if you are an advanced meditator. But if you are a beginner, if this practice only means a certain lifestyle for you to release all this emotional baggage that you're carrying, then it allows you to become that catharsis, to have that catharsis and release all these repressed emotions, repressed energies from your system. So the way you would do this meditation is you open your mouth and utter this sound of Ah from the very depths of your body, from the very depths of your being, from the lower energy centers. And as you utter this sound of Ah, let everything, all these emotion, repressed energies get released. We'll do this for a few times and move into a deep silence that arises out of that, a deep sense of blissfulness that arises out of that. Please close your eyes and take a posture that is comfortable for you. Allowing your body to be at rest, to find its natural center, balance. Your mind to be here, your awareness to be here, and turn inwards towards your inner space. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale from the nose. Open your mouth and chant Ah. Allowing this chant, this sound to reach to your depths, to reach to the lower parts of your body, to all the repressed energies, and let them surface, let them be released with this chant of Ah. Another deep breath in. As you utter the sound of ah, your awareness at your lower centers of the body and engaging your energies to release all what you're holding with the sound, with the chant of ah. Let this sound come from your belly, not just from your throat, coming from your depths, as if somewhere deep in you is chanting the sound of ah and releasing itself along with the chant. From your abdomen all the way down to your root chakra, to your Muladhara, to your base, engaging all of that in this catharsis. Letting all come to surface, your emotion, your energies, your body, your sensations, let them arise in your body. And all this repressed energy thrown out with the chant of ah. Not holding on to anything. Emptying yourself with every chant. Not holding yourself back, letting all the repressions out in this chant. All the way to your root chakra, to Muladhara, to the base of your spine, of your body. Pull the energies from the base of your body, engage them in the chant of ah. Allowing the sensations to rise as they rise, settle as they settle. One more time. And give yourself some moments, some minutes to settle, for your energies to reorganize. For your body, your mind, your energies to find rest. And move in silence with awareness. Moving in silence, letting go of all letting go of the process, moving in silence, in stillness, in your depths. Remaining aware, centered and silent. Allowing yourself to fall in this deep inner silence with awareness. Don't hold on to anything. Absolute stillness, silence, and awareness. Bringing awareness back to your breath. To your body. To your mind. To the awareness itself. And very gently and slowly you may open your eyes. To a new you, to a you that is an authentic you, that is closer to who you really are, that is free from all these repressions and suppressions and all what you have been holding on into your life. On this spiritual journey, if you have the calling to really go in your depths, to really bring that transformation that you are seeking, to really come out of all the questions that are there, that arise as you touch life, as you touch your depths. If you have that wish, if you have that calling, you are more than welcome to join our community of meditators who are collectively on this journey, on this path, answering these questions, coming out of these questions as an individual, as a collective. If you have the calling for that, please write me an email to apply to be a part of this community, describing a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, why do you want to be a part of this community, and what can you give back to this community. Thank you very much. Namaste.